Alright, I've made a new arc build that I feel is pretty unique and surprisingly effective, honestly. It's pretty much just Sunsinger from Destiny 1, but on Arc. Also, like, my wife picked out the color scheme and fashion for me. Um, ever since they changed Apotheosis Veil, it's nice on Solar with Well of Radiance, but I decided to try it on Arc because of Chaos Reach still has a pretty fast cooldown and you can stop it to refund energy. So I'm pretty much just doing a full super regen build, and then as soon as I get my Chaos Reach, I cast it, instantly cancel it to get as much ability energy refunded as possible. And then for like 8 seconds, you just have infinite melees and grenades pretty much. Like to the same level as Sunbracers. So I'm using Arc Soul for nice ability upkeep when I don't have my melee and grenade. And Electrostatic Mind, of course. Pulse nades I feel like are the best, just because of how long they last and how much damage you get out of them before they go away. But storms or lightning could be another good choice. If you're good with lightning grenades, go for it. Ball lightning, because you can use it at range. Then for fragments, always these two. And this one, if you're using a grenade that has a duration. And then Spark of Amplitude for extra orbs, because the orbs that this spawns are chunky. They give you a good amount of super energy. Then I'm using a improved enhanced thresh weapon. You don't have to. If you want, you could use a demolitionist weapon instead. But I like the little added bit of super energy without an exotic slot. Like, I'm not going to use bad juju. But for the mods, I got 1 dynamo and 2 ashes to assets. I got 2 grenade kickstarts and a firepower charged up. Solar reserves because I'm using Merciless, and a Demolitionist Apex Predator. And then heals on orb pickup, stacks on stacks, and Absolution. And then a powerful attraction, Reaper, Bomber, just for as many orbs as possible. I don't think you really need a lot of intellect because most of your regen is going to be coming from Ashes to Assets and Thresh and stuff. So, I'll show it now. I'll just give an idea of... Just gotta work up to my, always make sure you're near an enemy when you use your rift. You can see it's a nice little amount of super energy you get from enhanced thresh. Let your Arc Soul get kills so you can get ionic traces. But get as many kills with your grenade as possible. Here you can see there's 1 orb. I think there's 2 more up here. 3 more. That's how good Spark of Amplitude is. So once I kill these guys, in the next room, I'll show how exactly I would use this. Once the super's charged. So I would use up my abilities first, then cast super, instantly cancel, grenade, melee, grenade, melee, grenade, melee, grenade, melee, and grenade, and then do it all over again. And you can see if there were any enemies to actually throw the grenades at there. What was that, 5 grenades and 5 melees? 4 maybe? I didn't count. 4 minimum. I honestly think all those melees and grenades do more total damage than a Chaos Reach does anyway. Especially because it jolts. So, I'm just trying to think, like, not only is this fun being able to spam jolting pulse nades everywhere, but you think about, like, you run this with like a demolitionist weapon, and you could throw out your normal abilities, then you could shoot your rocket, then you could cast your super, rocket launcher from demo, and then you can swap to merciless and keep going with damage. And not to mention you're giving everyone arc souls during damage phase as well. So, and you can also see, I'll do it again in this room, try and spread out my grenades a little bit more, just to show you how much super energy you get refunded by the time you by the time the regen ends. Just trying to get rid of these turrets before I go all out. Like I said, you don't have to use a thresh weapon if you think you prefer a demolitionist weapon, or even probably the best thing would probably be like a demolitionist and wellspring weapon. But I think the only weapon that can get that role is an Ogma. All right, so throw out. And you can see I already have half of my super back by the time the regen ends. And it's no small amount of super energy you get from the enhanced thresh either. It's like 3 times what you normally get from a primary kill, I believe. I felt Submission was just a good choice because it gets turnabout as well, and it has the Soul Drinker perk, or whatever it's called, that heals when you reload after hitting something. Alright. You see, it's pretty consistent about getting a good amount of super energy back. You just should have to try and cancel the supercast animation as soon as possible. Oh, and here are the orbs from that fragment. Watch how much super energy they give. It's a good amount for just extra orbs. Dynamo gives a nice amount of super energy too. Now, I'm going to go into this room. I'm not going to worry about beating the boss, but I am going to get all my abilities charged and then do a full, like, what I would do for damage phases with this setup. Hope y'all like this idea. It just came to me and it worked out way better than I expected it to, honestly. I'm gonna try and hold on to my abilities here so I can use them for damaging the boss. Alright, here we go. And I didn't even shoot my rocket first, but you can see how much damage added up. That's 1000%. Definitely for sure more damage than just casting Chaos Reach would have done. Let's go check his health bar real quick after all of that. And that's -1 rocket. Remember, I could have shot one before I started the super too. You see, that brought him down to less than a quarter health. That's like, Chaos Reach I think does like a third of his health max. But y'all let me know what you think of it. I feel like it's definitely a shake-up to your normal arc build. It's pretty fun, honestly. I've been enjoying it. Let me know if you can find any more consistent way to get even more super regen without using bad juju. I just don't want to use bad juju. If you do, feel free. But if you find any way to get the super to come back even faster for more spam of abilities, let me know. But other than that, hope y'all enjoy.